scarred and I've been bruised. I have learned just what to do. I need to leave my past behind me. I need to look to the future. No matter what will come, no matter what I've done, I know just what to do. And that's all because of you.
Hello, you okay family? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Z Mavumengwana and this is You Okay. Thank you so much for your warm reception. I know I was gone for an entire month, but February felt like home. Your reception was so warm and everything just became so pleasantly familiar. So yes, we are back. I feel back. It looks like you guys are back as well. Thank you for your consistency, for your continuous zeal. It's like we don't have to rebuild rapport again. You guys just hit the ground running and I'm utterly grateful. And a warm welcome to the people that have recently joined our family. As you can see on the screen, we're sporting a regular face. To the people that have been here before, they know this face so well. You Okay is about enhancing our coping resources, adding to our tool basket, and today is no different. I picked a particular trait that I know prohibits our attempts to do big things, prohibits our attempts to do courageous things because of simply how long they will take to achieve. And there's just this big gap in between that. How do I propel forward when the result won't be immediate? And like most things of value, the result is hardly immediate. Waiting is hard. And it's counterintuitive to what humans like to do. We eat when we're hungry. We drink when we're thirsty. We go to the bathroom when we need to. It's just innate to want to fulfill what you need to do right now. It becomes a bit different when it comes to goals because it's a bit of a waiting game and it's a bit tricky to balance desire and realistic timelines. And I've looked at this person. I've been such a great beneficiary of his wisdom and I absolutely adore listening to him, and as an expression of love to you, I've decided to bring him back to you guys to share that wisdom, and hopefully you can edit your map, modify your steps, and see if you can take anything to make yourselves better. Welcome to the couch, Dr. Simthandile Doni. Dude! Welcome back. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Keban, and the Bulele Ko and the family. You Okay for inviting me here again. It's an honor to be on the couch for the second time. And thank you for being back on our screens. You do enhance our lives, Bulela, and thank you for the people that enable you to continue doing the job that you are doing. I do not know about the things that you say I do, but I hope to enhance channel a bit. And there are a lot of projects that we do, and most of the projects that we do are longitudinal. But like any project, there are always gains and victories that you can get along the way. So sometimes if you're saying the goal is far, but there are goals that you can create for yourself that is a full channel so that you can celebrate along the way. Celebration motivates you. When you're motivated, there's many things that you can do. There's nothing bigger than motivation. As a Christians, everyone wants to go to heaven. There's nothing that you can do for the church. So motivation is big. And if you must find things that will enable you to undertake linear projects, find something that motivates you. If you play football like I do sometimes, you know that if you go for training, there are a number of competitions that are held within the training. You race against each other, you play and try to score against each other, you try and stop people scoring. So there are a lot of things that you can celebrate. But at the end of the day, when you train so that you can go and play and win a match. So if your focus is only on the match, which is on a weekend, which is once a week, then when I won't get to enjoy football. But if you understand that before we get to a match and get to play, there are a number of things that you have to do along the way, and you can celebrate. There are not small victories, they are victories. There's no small victory, there's a victory. If you win, you win. If you lose tomorrow, it's a loss. You become down and you are sad. Everyone becomes sad when they lose. But tomorrow you have an opportunity again to play and win. Thank you very much. We've undertaken a number of projects. We've done a program here to is sport. A program here to is education, program here to is health. But with sport, we've done a Kokolweni annual run for the past 7 years. it's a project now that it can stand on its own. We've done Elamasia in academy. It's in its infancy. It needs so the projects are always at different stages. While you do one thing, you might not find as much satisfaction if we're involved with multiple projects, because multiple projects bring you each of at different stages. We health, we are doing community health clinic, and for now there's a project we are doing where we are taking their vitals quite regularly, more frequently than ordinarily they would. Ordinarily, I wonder what have their vitals taken, especially when they go to the clinic, which is most times it's once a month. At most, it's once a month.
How often do you see them?
So now we're seeing them at least twice a week, which means by the time they go to the clinic, we've seen them 8 times. So if we can get that data, we can predict more accurately the control of their chronic illnesses. So even this one, what our program is for e-health, is very different to the project that we're doing. So if we were to celebrate only when we attain what we want for health, then we would not be able to celebrate, and we won't be motivated, because you need something to motivate you to get up off the couch and in the mornings to get off the bed and start to work. So right now, our success is that we are able to see people 8 times more than they would have been seen in the month.
But it's not the big picture.
No, it's not the big picture. And it hasn't attained any result in this moment. Because we are seeing people who are well and we are taking their blood pressure. Their blood pressure won't say they are in pain, and you can't bring any instant relief by treating the blood pressure. Because if you have high blood pressure or high blood sugar, you're unlikely to experience any major symptoms.
Discomfort at the moment.
Discomfort. So when we tell you that we are controlling your sugar, we haven't changed anything drastically in your life. So to say we are celebrating that isn't much, but if you understand that it's a big part of what we want to attain, then you understand it's a small victory. It means we are progressing.
Yeah, because that's why I handpicked you for this specific topic, because gratification is motivating. It asks you to, if you experience relief or experience pleasure, we're very pleasure-driven individuals. Most things we do are driven by the pleasure that we obtain from them. But the things that you have mentioned are very, very longitudinal and absent of what I can observe from the outside, overt pleasure. Because you see the sport kids come in when they are like, just debutate their adolescence, but the outcome you want globally from it is when they exit your program, which is when they're 18 years old. In program, they are well at the moment. What primary health does, it delays disease, it prevents multiple hospitalizations, even if it buys them a year or 2 of their life expectancy, this is not something you're going to see soon. Same goes for your athletic lifestyle. You don't go running today and get a 6-pack today, whatever runners are trying to achieve. My question, because there is nothing that came, well, from what I can observe, but clearly from the subjective experience, these things are costly. From someone who's close to them, as I am, so they come with distress, I would presume, because it's a tata for now, but you wake up and do them with zeal every day and they are growing. But where is the gratification? What makes you do it tomorrow? Although the driving force is not yet obtainable. And most importantly, there is no guarantee that it will be. I think that's what is mind-blowing to me about it, because gratification is easier to drive towards when you're certain it's going to come. But with things of virtue like this, it might, but are you okay with the fact that it might not? And with that question mark at the end of the road, how do you persist doing it, although you can't see into the future and you can't guarantee with certainty that the big goal you're gunning for is in fact going to come and come during your lifetime?
So if I make analogy about football, please do understand that there's a very successful coach currently, Pep Guardiola. He is very successful. So if we were to speak and say my goal is to win the league, you want to believe that's his motivation. But if you listen to him closely, he always says the process is most gratifying for him, because that is what you can control. There are things you can control, there are things you can't control. So most of the people focus on things that you can control. As a result, when you do not attain that which you had wished for. Then you become despondent, sad, and all the other negative emotions. But your effort, you can control. Firstly, so if you understand that the outcome is not dependent on what you do. There's a force that is bigger than us. There's a force, whether it's Allah for you, whether it's Uti, or whether it's Ukamada, whether it's God, whoever you ascribe into Kubana, there is a higher being than us as human beings. That person is very important because they control the outcomes. Upep Guardiola says this every day. He says what is in our control is what we can do. Upep Guardiola, who coached Manchester City, is one of the most successful coaches currently. He says we control the process. We win today, we go back and say, what can we do better? And we understand that because we won today, doesn't mean we will win tomorrow. The outcome is out of our hands, but we can get ourselves closer to the outcome by doing our best. That should satisfy you, so that tomorrow when you lose, you will still understand that we did our best. Then the satisfaction is not any less. You might be sad because you have lost, but you know you've given your all. And tomorrow, yes, you will get an opponent that is better than you, someone who's more motivated than you, factors that are pulling towards them succeeding. A higher being that decides into hiding face winner. You can't win everything. We're human beings, we make mistakes, we are fallible. And that's the nature of human beings. But there's one thing that is always within your control, and that is keep a drive and what you put in. So we control that. So even with projects, you understand your purpose, this is where I want to go. But what will drive you is what you put in. This is what I want to put in, and this is how much I want to put in. There are days when you're going to feel down. There are days when you're not going to be motivated because you're not living alone. You're on earth, someone will die in the family, your car will be in an accident. Also, when this is that will disappoint you. And you won't have the same drive. And you must expect those things that will happen. I won't go Superman, I won't go machine. You are human beings. There are days you can't go on. You must allow for those days. But most of the time, if you understand the purpose and you understand what's dependent on what you put in, then you put in what you can and allow God to control. Then most of the time you will work. If then when you think Superman, this is where trouble comes. When people say, but I did so much, why then the outcome? Indians that I expected it. We are not in control of the outcome. I promise you, as hard as you can push, as hard as you can try, there are people who bench 200 kakul every day, bench 200, then tomorrow you get an injury. You don't understand. And you say, I've been benching 200 for the past 3 months. But why today am I getting an injury? Because it is the world, it is nature. There are forces beyond us in nature. So control what you can control, and every day you will wake up and continue. So now it's no more the end goal. It's the small things. And find things in between that will satisfy you. Yabona, if you can get things that will motivate you to wake up tomorrow, get something that will motivate you to wake up tomorrow. Find something that will motivate you to. It can be your child, it can be a small outcome, it can be getting the rental space. So find things that will motivate you to wake up tomorrow. And within no time, you'll start to see the bigger picture. Because I good bigger picture in a column. Painting the column comes up on stroke one. Lohakuna matad, the person who drew this all column stroke one. But now when you see it, it's a beautiful painting, and was never seen Wakuna matad. Sees the end product. So most people want to see end product. When they dream, when you dream,
not understanding that even the crayon is part and parcel of the end product.
When you dream about the end product.
Of course.
But when you start the process, so color is strong. So you've got to understand that when you put hakuna, you've got to celebrate that. It's a beautiful color, matata. Then it's a phrase, hakuna matata. But when you started, it was only age. So you build towards a success. There's no success that is achievable.
The last time we hosted you, you said something so significant, which I've observed with people who have that philosophy, and that was the philosophy of purpose. Because we profiled a little bit of the work that you do last time, but you said it doesn't matter the vehicle that I choose to execute a particular thing, I'm always trying to do the same thing. And to me that speaks to purpose, that my purpose is the betterment of my people. Whether I'm helping the elderly get less sick, whether I'm taking up employment in a completely different corporation, whether I'm helping the kids run and stay fit and stay off social ills and whatever, but I'm consistently trying to do the same thing. And abandonment purpose better less with putting off gratification. They just have better impulse control. It looks like working in it every day is enough of gratification, but I don't know if you relate to that statement. Does purpose make it better? That it doesn't matter what is achieved and what is not achieved. I'm in my element, and that alone is a gratifying experience for me.
I don't want us to say we delay gratification, because it's very difficult to delay gratification, because everyone wants to feel good.
Okay.
When you are satisfied and when you succeed, then you are happy and you become one.
So what's the
if we say we are delayed, no, you must be satisfied with what you do. And this is where purpose comes in. When purpose is to assist abanye abantu, and you are working in an environment where you are assisting abanye abantu, already you are happy, you are satisfied, you are motivated. Because then you don't have to see the full picture. Even the small things, then they excite you, and then you become happy. So your gratification is not delayed. If you love football and go to for training, so just by being in the field and training, you haven't played the match, you haven't won the league, but by being on the field and playing, then you are already happy. So you are satisfied, you are motivated to come back tomorrow. And when you see yourself improve because you trained yesterday, and then you were taught something new, and today you know it better, then that's another thing that satisfies you. Then you're motivated to come tomorrow, and then you're motivated to learn something new, because you know that because I trained and did something else, then I learned a new skill, so you can come back tomorrow. So we don't delay gratification. Everyone
you
wants
cultivate it
in every little thing that you do. Find something that will satisfy you.
I think that's a nice cognitive restructuring thing too, to not feel like you're putting it off. Because I think it breaks when you feel like it must be put off and I want it now. I like the Hakuna Matata analogy, because I'm getting it. This is still it. Yes, it's one aspect of it, but to it one isn't far. I'm not putting it off. I'm actively participating in it. And I think as Sim is speaking, we've covered this so repetitively on the channel, which is divorcing the need to be certain. Divorcing the need to be certain, and is reiterating the same thing, that if you battle with control issues, you're going to experience great distress with putting off gratification or experiencing gratification in small wins. Is restraint something that can be cultivated? Because some people aren't good at it. So what happens when you're not good at it? Is discipline and self-control something that a person can learn to cultivate and build?
As human beings, I feel there's nothing we cannot not learn. But there are factors that determine how easily you can learn. But yonke into we can learn, there are a phrase that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. I want to disagree with it, but you might say, we should rather say it's difficult to teach an old dog new tricks. Because one, if you are young, it's easier to learn, isn't it? Because you are not set in your ways. When you are young, you are still not set, so you are open to trying and experimenting. But the older you become, then you get set in your ways. So it's nice if you get an opportunity to learn irrestrained at a young age. But even at an older age, you can still learn irrestrained. When you start to understand you don't have to delay a success. You won't define a success. When you redefine phrases and start to interrogate then Payana you get to find a new way of, probably, let me say, defining success and living. Because you start watching and understand that I'm not delaying gratification. Gratified. You don't have to wait for bindu yako ibe roofed and you are living inside it. By being able to save money to throw a plan for the house, you've got to celebrate that. By having your foundation of your house, you've got to celebrate the foundation. By then building up a structure, you've got to celebrate that. But most people want to celebrate the bigger picture, then it takes time. It takes years, and you might not even get there. And this is why people then get into a big, depressive and sad mood. I do not want to say depressive episodes, but when you become sad to a level that you are between anedonia and a depressed mood, it's because you don't want to celebrate as
insist on that one.
You want to insist on when I don't have a house.
Yes, because that is
I didn't succeed, but there are a lot of things that you may have done along the way, and other people may not have been able to achieve those things. And then you must start seeing small victories. If we were to leave this episode, okay, what I would want people to remember is that find small victories in everything that you do. Being able to wake up in the morning, it's a small victory. Abanye abantu can be able to talk, abanye abantu can speak, but abanye bangakwazi ukuthetha, they can see. So there's a lot that you can celebrate in life. But sometimes the people who see, especially on social media and on print and visual media, are people who have achieved big things, and we want to see ourselves achieving those things, and we forgot about the small victories that we attain every day in life. There's a lot every day that you can pick up in life. Uzapa for the second time. It's a big thing for me. I'm going to celebrate it. So there's nothing that can put me down for the next month or two, because I've been called okay, because it means there's something that I did, and I did good for abundant, I added value. So it's something to celebrate. So there's always something that you can find, but you can always learn Ms Z. If you feel you are short, you can always learn. Usiswam, my big sister, once said this: you shouldn't say that if you feel that it's something that's negative and you would love to change it, it's within your power to change it. So Zudindinj. Dan sit in their lash. I was only 18 when I realized
you can put compensatory mechanisms.
And then what? No, don't accept one lash. You must learn something new or compensate for that. So we can always compensate, even if you are using people or resources, using alarms, using Njalo. There's always something you can do, and there's no problem that is entirely new. So there's always solutions that Abantus have already discovered, and we have the internet. Instead of using the internet to enhance the bad behavior, we can use it to create good behavior. So you find go on the internet, find the apps that will assist you in so you can cultivate and learn new tricks.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm not putting you on the spot here, because this may very well just be your personality, but it is an observation and something that I think if it's learnable, someone else can learn as well. And this is your ability to, I don't know English, but it's this ability to respond well to changing circumstance. Because the thing with projective things and things that are far is that the future is out of your hands, and it may very well not present itself like how you imagined. But for the time that I've known you, you don't wallow much in self-pity and distress when you experience it is often short-lived. You're just a person that can adapt to the fact that a circumstance is now different. And you're not fake enjoying it. You adapt and you adopt it, and it is what it is. Is that a personality trait? Because I think what causes the greatest distress is waking up in a reality that you didn't envision. So for people, when they bargain with the decision, they can't accept that, and the easier seductive option because should it happen that I haven't seen those circumstances to paralyze you, because where it does not look like what you thought it is going to look like.
I think the experience, no coolism, in different environments. Sports played a big part in my upbringing. The church played a very big part, and my family. The outcomes were never guaranteed. You could come back tomorrow, and my dad was very happy with you. You come back the same day, and when someone might have been angry with you because he received in a different way. Again, with sport, you can hit a pass 10 times accurately, but on the 11th time it's not accurate, and you might score 5 out of 10 times. So you learn into Okubana what you put in doesn't necessarily mean, even though it will affect or affect the output, but it's not guaranteed output. William is one of the best soccer players. He went through a period where he didn't score free kicks for more than 3 months, even close to 6 months. He was someone who was scoring probably at a rate of 1 out of 5 free kicks, 32. He went to not scoring for more than 3 months. Maybe he had taken Kulo period more than 100 free kicks. He hadn't done anything differently, but the output was very different. But he persisted and persisted because he has never, the only thing that is within his control is that. And secondly, there's a very, very powerful prayer then that I learned. I always go back to that. It says, what is within my power, I will control. What is not within my power, I will leave to the higher being, I will accept that. And what I pray to God is that please
help me discern.
Yes, help me to discern and understand that this one is within my power and this one. So this is my prayer every day when I wake up. Please allow me to control what is within my power. If it's not within my power, then don't even let me try. So la prayer is the biggest. And came in the phrase Hakuna Matata. Whatever happens while on earth, as beings on earth, our primary thing is to be on earth and survive. And the other things are extras on earth. But sometimes we make the extras the main thing. No, they are not. If you can put food and shelter and be loved, that's what you're on earth to do. And most times people love you for no reason. We relate and you love me because I'm your sister, I'm your brother, and this is why people love you. You don't need to do anything particular. And most people are like that. But the moment Bogo sends the extras, and extras is getting employment. People want to be loved because they're employed, and then they can assist abantu financially because they can do business. Ezo zinto shouldn't be of value. Wherever I am, I know to go banner. If anything were to happen, I can always go back and be able to put food because I was taught how to cultivate using umhlaba oil. And then shelter because there's land people build using mud and will never run out of land. I'm comfortable in knowing that much the fundamentals are taken care of. And my people will still be happy with me. They loved me before I was a doctor. They loved me before I had an academy. They loved me before we were preparing for them into Okubana Benzwi vitals every 2 weeks. So the love is not because of what I'm doing. It's so I'm happy there. So whatever I do beyond that, it's a nice to have. It's a nice to have. So it's a good to have and it's a nice to have. But in J ordinarily, the 90% basics, I know that.
Yes. So we've reached the end of our interview. Your Care family, Simtende has profound insights that I really, really enjoy. And when I adopt some of them, I grow in leaps and bounds. And I hope you've experienced the same joy that I get to experience from enjoying his company and enjoying his wisdom. Clang, into that camera, any last words?
Serenity prayer. God grant me
the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.
To change the things that I can.
The courage to know the difference, the wisdom.
The wisdom to know the difference. This is why Solomon was a wise man. And this is when we describe wisdom. He knew what he could change and he changed it. What he could not change, he didn't change. And thank you for having me here. Thank you very much, Lord.
Sibazi Papu Solomon, an absolute pleasure. It's always good having you here. Thank you so much for being receptive to him one more time, and I will see you on the next Tuesday. Bye.